Good evening. It's Thursday night. That means it's Third and Long Podcast live on Facebook and YouTube, and will be on Spotify tomorrow morning. How are you, Mr. Hope?
I am good. How are you, Mr. Butler Henderson?
You almost forgot my name. I am deeply hurt then. I am good. I am looking forward to the Patriots going 7-4 tonight.
Yes, I hope they do because the Falcons are an outside chance for the NFC playoffs, just like the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a harder run than the Niners, I think.
Yeah,
Going off the top of my head.
in my opinion, the Niners have quite an easy run in.
But we'll get to them in a bit. It's
Yeah.
mid-season awards time. I mean, yeah, okay, we're week late. Never mind.
That's slightly after mid-season.
It's the third and long way of doing it. It's
Yeah,
fine. We're going.
it's taken a bit longer for us to do it.
Yeah, we're hoping to have Tom there, but unfortunately that hasn't happened.
Yeah, well,
he's he's getting ready to get his face pounded in by some for charity on Saturday night.
he's back next week.
Yeah, full time apparently.
Yeah,
Way.
I mean we've got a bit of a weird next week because of Thanksgiving and everything.
Yeah, so we'll be live. We won't be doing Monday. I think we're just doing Wednesday next week, aren't we?
Yeah, and then obviously you guys have got to do a couple of podcasts without me.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. In fact, it might be Tuesday. Just thinking of my schedule. But we'll cross that bridge in a minute. Shall we start with the AFC and grading each team as we go down the divisions?
Yes, this is when you're going to try and claim to me that the Patriots can still win the AFC East.
Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try and be unbiased. Likelihood of that happening is 0 to none, but I will try to be unbiased.
Yeah, let's wait until we get to the players of the week for that.
Yeah. Shall we start with the AFC East? I'm going to start at the bottom and work the way up. Each division, I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to start with New York Jets, 2-7. Scored 161 points. You know, they've allowed 296 points this season. 0-3 in the division, 2-2 at home, 0-5 away from home. Pretty poor.
Well, it's not great, is it?
No, it's not a great record. I mean, obviously they've lost Zach Wilson. They've had Mike White play a game and a half, pretty much, or two and a half games near enough, hasn't he? I don't know. I think there is a lot of progress in that, or a lot of progress to be made in that team. They are a working team. I'm probably going to give them a D.
A D? Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe in it D minus, maybe just below the D.
And what do you reckon they'll finish this season?
I need to move that blooming thing, don't I? Who have they got left this season? So they have got. We are Saints this weekend. No, that's Philadelphia. Sorry. So they have got Tampa. If I'm reading this right, Philadelphia, Miami, Chargers, Dallas, Philly, Dallas, and Washington. I think I've read that right. No, that's not. That's completely nothing wrong.
They have the Bills again.
Yeah, they got the Bills, Miami, Texas, Philly, Saints, Miami again, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Buffalo. I'm going to say they are going to go for 4-13.
4-13, 2 more wins.
2 more wins. Yeah. Going to be very cautious on that one. I can't see him getting more than that. It's because Zach Wilson, when he comes back, he's going to have a bit of rust. Not going to be that good, I believe. On to Miami. Slightly better record. They're 3-7 now. Scored 177 points. Allowed 252 points. They're 2-3 at home and 1-4 away. They are 1-2 in the division at the moment. Obviously, we've seen both of these teams in the flesh. Both of us were
the Dolphins didn't look very impressive, did they?
No. To be fair, nor did New York. I mean, we both were very heavy on criticising Zach Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we were together, we'd probably have been criticising Tua and Trevor Lawrence just as much.
Um, I think Trevor Lawrence was a lot better than Tua
Yeah,
that
I
day.
do agree. I do agree with that, but neither of the quarterbacks were outstanding.
No. So Miami, I think. My son walks behind me.
Finn started to make appearances.
He's gone to get himself a blooming nice lolly from the freezer. Anyway, back to Miami. I think they're slightly better than New York. Not hugely. I'm going to go for D. I think a
I'd
little
say
bit
that,
better.
yeah, D. And final record, I can see them getting to 5 wins, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean they've got New York. I think they might even have New York twice. I will move this for the next podcast. I promise you that. No, they don't even have New York. By the looks of it.
They
Oh yeah,
should
they
have New
did.
York
They
once.
got New York. They got both New Yorks. They got New York twice, and they finish up with us. So they could get 3. I reckon they could go to 6, 6-11. I think.
Fair enough.
And I'm not going to look at that anymore. I'm going to just randomly go at it. I think.
And
Um,
I'm going to just be quiet for this next one.
yes, my beloved New England 6-4 record after being 1-3. Scored 275 points, allowed 177, 2-4 at home, and 2-1 in the division. If we'd have done this after week 4, it would have been a D as well. If it had been after week 6, probably a C. Now I'm looking at probably a B minus. I think.
I was thinking B plus
You gonna go? Okay. I was
because
trying to be non-biased.
I mean the the Patriots I think were pretty much written off this season.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, a rookie quarterback. They're now found their formula. They're running the board hard.
And now they're probably in the top 10 in the NFL, so I'd say definitely at least a B
Yeah.
plus.
Well, the herd have given them ranked them 5th. I think it was overall at the moment this week.
I don't know. I'm going off the group chat I'm in with a load of NFL UK people, the top 10 the top 10 bottom 5 chat, and I think at the moment before the post goes up tonight, I think they're ninth.
Yeah, I mean they are. They're ticking now. They've got after tonight's game at Atlanta, they've got Tennessee, Buffalo twice, and Indianapolis. They finish with Jacksonville. Have you got Miami? No, Jacksonville. I can't remember off the top of my head. How bad is that? They finish with Jacksonville, Miami.
Oh well, you'll find a way to lose to Miami. You always do.
Yeah, especially down in Miami in December. Always happens. I think we can get to 10. I think we can win tonight. That puts us to 7. If we can beat Tennessee and get a win against Buffalo, and then it should be an easy
I
2 from out of the next 3. I think.
I
Hopefully.
think I think 10 games will guarantee you the playoffs.
Yeah, that is where they're aiming at now. I think. If you'd have given the fans at the start of the season, in fact, the fans at the start of the season were probably going. If we got 9 wins, 7 wins, that'd be good.
I think 9 wins might sneak you into the playoffs, but I think 10 will guarantee you.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the running now, the only difficulty is Tennessee, who are probably the best team in the league at the moment. Buffalo are Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think New England. Yeah, 10 may squeak 11. I think.
And Buffalo, Jekyll and Hyde, as you just said.
The very Jekyll and Hyde, as they've shown, they've had a 6-3 at the moment, 280 points scored, allowed 135, which is actually quite surprising. They're 3-1 at home, 3-2 on the road, and 3-0 in the division. They've had 2 shutouts. They've absolutely battered several teams.
But they've also had two bad losses.
against Jacksonville and Seattle. No, not Seattle. Sorry, Pittsburgh. Week one, as you've alluded loads of times, it's an extra preseason game. No team's always there.
The Tennessee loss was fair enough.
Tennessee loss was fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give Buffalo a minus. I think when they're on song, they will beat every other team to a pulp twice, and that includes Kansas, that includes Tennessee, that includes Arizona, Green Bay. I reckon. That's how I see it. What about you, Sif? What would you give them?
I was thinking B,
You're gonna go for straight
just
B.
because for me they had such high expectations at the start of the season to go, 14-2, 13-3, and they've already lost three times and against two teams that probably won't even make the playoffs this year.
No, I mean what's their schedule like for the rest of the season? So they have got.
I mean, they've got you twice.
Yeah, so they've got, when it loads, which I wish I never did this now because that's going to take forever, like it does most. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I can't be bothered to turn around. Yeah, I mean, they've got us twice. In fact, I will turn around. Yeah, they've got us twice. They've got Indy this weekend, New Orleans, us twice, Tampa, Carolina, Atlanta, and New York Jets.
Yes.
I could see them losing three of those games.
Really,
if they're not on it against
more.
Tampa, they'll lose. If they're not on it against New Orleans, they'll lose. And the same with Indianapolis.
And New England.
Yeah. Yeah, New England's defense is probably coming out to be one of the best defenses in the league at the moment. The way they're performing at the moment.
Yes.
They're one of the top teams in takeaways. They're one of the top teams on least points allowed. I think there's less. I think they're least on points per game as well. I think they're there. It is between New England and Buffalo who gets who wins the FC East. Again, I think Buffalo should get 12, should get 13.
Yes.
They do have the capability to go and beat them for the rest of the season, but they also got the capability to go, 5-3 or 3-5.
Yes.
So yeah. On to the north. I tried to use I was going to think of a Game of Thrones pun then, but I couldn't remember off the top of my head. Probably the closest division out of all of them, I would say now, wouldn't
Yes.
you? So we'll go to the dog pound first. My early preseason Super Bowl champions. They're 5-5. Cleveland Browns, 231 points scored, 241 allowed. They're 3-2 in home, 2-3 away, and a 1-1 in the division.
And to be honest, they've been the Myles Garrett show, haven't they?
They have been the Myles Garrett show. He's leading the league with 13 sacks.
I mean, we've got to say our standout players of the AFC East. Just
AFC East standout player. I am going to go to New England, and I'm not going for offense. I'm going for defense, and I'm going for Matt Judon.
Okay, my standout player for the AFC East is somebody who I didn't really think was going to have a big role in the offense this year, but Zach Moss has emerged as a bit of a breakout player, I think.
Oh, the running back.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in one of my fantasy teams. Yes, he is starting to be a little bit of a star there, isn't he? Starting to have a real good season.
So back to the dog bound and the Myles Garrett show.
Yes, the Myles Garrett show. Like I said, leading 13 sacks. If it wasn't for him, I could see him getting absolutely battered. Cleveland, I'm going to give them I'm going to go for C minus.
Yes, I agree with that. They had higher expectations when they started.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't go wrong. They've lost Chubb. They've lost Hunt. Could say they've lost Odell Beckham, but that doesn't really make anything else. They've been ravished at the DB position as well. They've had a couple of linebackers out for games. a fully healthy, fully fit Baker Mayfield and a fully fit offense and DB line, you'd see a different Cleveland Brown, I think.
I do agree with that, but next man up.
Exactly. On to Cincinnati, 5-4 at the moment, 236 scored, 203 conceded. They're 2-2, 3-2, and 2-1 in the division.
I mean, I think they needed this bye this week because they were starting to lose the plot.
They was, and it had to start to be the Burrow and Chase show down
It
in
already
New
was the
England.
Bow. It already is the Bowers and Chase show there.
What really, all these experts are saying, you've got to get a lineman, you've got to protect Burrows, you've got to get Swell, he's got to be the number 5 pick. I wonder how much Joe Burrow's gone, get me Chase, and we will score points. I wonder how much that he actually gone into that one.
I reckon a lot.
They're seeded 8th in the AFC.
Yeah, but they've lost the last two.
Yeah, I mean they were what number 1? They're 1 seed at one point.
They were number 1 seed at one point.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm gonna go for. What did I give Cleveland? C minus. I'm gonna go C plus because they're 5-4. If it wasn't for the last 2 games, they'd be a lot higher than that.
Yes, and end record.
10-7. 10.
I'm thinking 9-8.
You're going for 9. It's difficult. It's so tight, that division, isn't it? 9 wins could get you top. It could get you the, could win the conference.
Yes.
The division. Sorry.
On to Freddie's team.
On to Pittsburgh. 5-3. 5-3-1. Sorry. Can't forget that lovely draw. And they're drawing against the Lions. I've just got to put that in a couple more times. They drew against the Lions.
The Lions.
The Lions, who are 0-8. Or
8-1.
Yeah. 177 points scored, 185 conceded. I'm not going to do the home and away record anymore. We'll just do the points loud. Big Ben, as we've said several times on his last legs, doesn't have the big throws. If he does, it seems to take it out of him. And they run the ball a couple of times. Saying that, they have a star in Najee Harris. He is absolutely brilliant. I would love to see him live, actually in the flesh.
And their defense too with TJ Watt.
Yes. Who got a bit battered in one of the games, but came back in like it. There was nothing wrong with him. It was quite funny. Yeah, I think they could. It's another team they can get to. It's going to be 10 or 9, isn't it? They're going to finish up with. I'm going to give them a B minus. I think.
I'll give them
because they've lost a couple of players. They've lost Juju.
Yeah.
On to the Lamar Jackson running show in Baltimore. Who would have thought, after losing 3 running backs in 3 plays in pre-season, in training in pre-season, they would be one of the leading offenses in rushing yards. Okay, yes, they've got the most rushed quarterback in the league. They are 6-3. They scored 231 points, only conceded 217. So they've conceded more than Cincinnati and Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Miami have shown you how to beat them now. I think.
Blitz them.
Yeah, there were 47 blitzes in that game. So pretty much every defensive snap, Miami rushed someone at him.
Yes.
And that seems to be the way because he had no holes, no space. It was there. Boom, gone, straight in. I'm going to, because up to that, they do look good. And I'm going to give them an A on this one, I think. I think they're better than Buffalo.
Yeah.
They're not as good as Tennessee. They probably are second or third best team in the AFC at the moment, possibly in the NFL. But yeah, I'm going to go for an A.
And final record?
12.
Okay, so that's the AFC North wrapped up, and standout player for me is Jamar Chase.
Um, I was going to go Jamal Chase as well, but to be diverse, I've already said it once. I'm going for Najee Harris. I think
Okay, two rookies.
two rookies, yeah, and it said something how good this rookie class was.
Yes.
Um,
So are we moving to the South now?
On to the South, and we'll start with the poor Houston Texans, who just seem to be shrouded in, when is he going, when isn't he using, what's happened with, Deshaun Watson. They're 1-8. They've only scored 128 points. They've conceded 258.
I
They have,
mean,
apart
F,
from when they played us, they have looked woeful. And even when
F.
no, we'll give them a little, yeah, no, because no, actually, no, Detroit's going to be ungradable. Yeah, F would do. Yeah, I think F would do. Jacksonville Jags, 2-7 at the moment, 149 points for 232 conceded. We saw them in London. Admittedly, I missed the last half of the last quarter because of idiots and cups. Trevor impressed me with his poise on the ball and how good he is in the pocket. Yes, he made a couple of rookie error throws like they all have done, apart from your lad because he doesn't throw the ball. Houston aren't going to win another game. I don't. Maybe get to 2, maybe 3. Jacksonville ran Indy very close.
I, I'm, I,
If it
I'm,
wasn't for a fumble at the end, I think they would have beaten Indy.
yeah, I am worried about the game this weekend.
Yeah, I can see Jacksonville getting to 5. I really can see Jacksonville getting to 5.
I can see that, yeah.
They've got left this season, so they've got Atlanta, and then they've got a real tough one. They've got LA Rams and Texans, and then they've got a couple of easy games in Houston and New York, Jets that is, and then they come to us, and then they've got finish at Indy. So there is easily 5. You could easily get, possibly a win in Indy, Houston, Atlanta. Possibly they could get the 6. Who would have thought that when they were only won one game last year?
And of course, we've got the Niners this week.
And they got the Niners this week, yeah. I'm going to go for E at the moment. I would grade them as an E at the moment.
Yeah, they're not doing great.
Indianapolis, another Jekyll and Hyde team. Although, as we said, they have won 4 out of the last 5 games.
They're starting to look very good.
They're 5-5. They've scored 268. They've conceded 230. Jonathan Taylor is superb. Hines is coming back into it. They've had bits where they've had the wide receivers falling out my brain.
T.Y. Hilton?
T.Y. Hilton, that's the guy. They could get to 9 wins, possibly sneak a wild card. Looking at what's left, they've got Chargers, Raiders, who's going to fall away, and Bengals left. I think, they could get to 8 or 9. I'm going to grade them as I'm going to give them a C+ because they've turned it around.
I was going to give them a B. I think they've done very well this season.
Yeah, they have, to be fair.
You're a harsh marker, Mr. Butler Henderson.
That's what you come from coaching kids. Trust me. On to probably the best team in the NFL at the moment.
Even without their running back.
Even without Derrick Henry, even without Julio Jones, they are still 8-2. They've won the last 2 games without two of their star players. They scored 278 points. They've conceded 232, which is a bit of a worry. Is their defensive side on it? They conceded more than Indianapolis and as many as Jacksonville.
Their offense is hot, though.
Their offense is hot with the Tannehill.
Yes.
They're a star, aren't they, at the moment?
Yes.
A star. They are superb. I'm worried when we play them in 3 weeks.
Yeah, Niners have got them
2 weeks.
Niners have got them week 16, I think.
Isn't that when possibly a certain Henry could be back?
Yes.
Certain wrecking ball. Star player. I'm going to go for Air Tannehill.
You're going to give it to Tannehill.
I'm going to purely the fact that me and my dad were talking last night about it, and it's the fact that he has turned his career around from what he was at Miami. Yes, he's got this nice, big 230 odd pound full of muscle, literally bulldozing players out of the way and literally running away from DBs. But he is a wrecking machine, and I think he deserves. And Tannehill deserves the Tannehill leap
I'm
into
going to
the
give.
end zone.
I'm going to give it to Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor from the Colts.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
On to the
NFC
West.
Another incredibly tight division. A really, really tight division. They're all split between one game. Denver are 5-5. That's currently 5-5. Scored 200, conceded 183.
I can see them falling away big time.
Yeah, I can see them and Las Vegas both falling away. Yeah, Denver now they've lost Von Miller. They've lost that leader in the middle linebacker role. No, is he offset? No, he's outside linebacker, isn't he?
Yeah.
Did he play Wick? No, he played Sam, didn't he? He's Sam linebacker. He was always on the strong side.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see them falling away. It's okay. Patrick Surtain is a great corner.
And Javonte Williams, I think he's showing to be a great running back too.
Did they pick him up in the 6th? It was a late pickup, wasn't it, for Devontae Williams? Whoever does their running pickups in Denver, they need to dock their hat because they've had 2 late or undrafted picks who have been absolute stars for them. Phil Lindsay and Devontae Williams are great running backs.
Yes.
And they found them really well. Then we go on to the self-destruction of Las Vegas.
Wait, we've not talked about what Denver's record's going to be. Or given them a grade.
Didn't I give them a grade?
Don't think so.
I thought I said a D because they've
They're falling.
Yeah, they're going to fall away. Another 2, maybe 3 wins. They could get to 8. But the way that division is playing, I mean, no one, believe it or not, LA Chargers have got the best record in that division. They're 2-0. No one else has won both their games,
Yeah.
Raiders have lost 2 out of 3. Denver have only played 1 game. Kansas have played 1 each. Have won and lost 1.
The Raiders, where off the field issues, I think, are getting in the way.
It is now because you've had obviously Gruden, you've had Ruggs. They're causing a lot of issues. They haven't got. Obviously, they went after Deshaun Jackson, never got him. They went after Odell Beckham, never got him. It's starting to look a bit of an issue.
Yes.
Yeah, it's looking a bit of a worry now. Again, they're the same as Las Vegas. They're 5-4, 210 scored, 230 conceded. Through 5 weeks, up to the Gruden incident, they looked
pretty unstoppable, really.
They looked the best team in the NFL. Through 4 weeks, for the first month, they looked the best team in the NFL. I believe we even said Derek Carr looked 2016 Derek Carr again before he got his leg injury.
Yes, we did.
They were firing all cylinders. They've got a very good running back in Jacobs. And they've got very good wide receivers. Obviously they did in Ruggs. They've got Renfort, and they've got probably a top 5 tight end in Welker. It's just there's a lot of distractions going on now that is causing the issues in that franchise, in those locker rooms, and it's a shame.
Yes.
Because they had a chance and they got a beautiful stadium there. It's absolutely stunning.
Yes.
And it's a shame. It would have been nice for them to have a playoff game there, but I can't see it happening now. On to Los Angeles Chargers, 5-4 as well. Scored 219, conceded 218. I was worried going into when New England played them 2 weeks ago. Watching that game in full, watching Los Angeles in full, I'm not that high on them. I don't think Herbert is. He's got a lot of learning to do.
I think he was a lot better last season than he was this season.
Seems to be second season syndrome.
Yeah,
Allen is always Allen. Allen will always be the security blanket. Eckler is a very, very good running back. I mean, I think losing Hunter Henry was a big blow to them that they don't actually realise. Because Hunter Henry for New England has been superb these last 3 weeks. He's held everything that Mac Jones has thrown at him. And they've got an okay defense. It's just
Derwin James is looking good.
they've got no X factor at the moment.
Yes,
They've got X factor players, but the offense hasn't got that spark. The defense hasn't got that spark at the moment that they've lost. They lost like
yes.
what two? They lost against 2-3 on the bounce. That's against
got-
us. They lost the week before us as well.
Yeah,
I think they even lost the week before
They-
that as well.
and they lost to the Vikings last week.
So yeah, they've lost 3 on the bounce now.
Yes.
It's killed them. It's killed
So-
that momentum.
For me, that's a D,
Yeah, I agree with that one.
and I don't see them winning many more this season.
They could get to 9. I think that'd be a good season for them.
Yes,
It would be an improvement for them. Well, most teams are going to have an improvement from last season, I think, because there's one more extra game to play. On to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
well, I think they announced themselves they're back now after that performance last week.
They found their stride again, haven't they?
Yes,
They lost 2 games on the bounce for the first time since they won the Super Bowl in 2018, I want to say, but I think I'm wrong.
they won in 2019.
2019, I was there because we won in 2018. They scored 262 points. They conceded 241. Patrick Mahomes has turned the ball over 9 times this year. That's more than he did last season already.
Yes,
Kelsey and Hunt haven't been firing all cylinders.
Hill, you mean?
Hill, yep, sorry, Hunt's the wrong franchise. Hunt's no longer there. Not firing all cylinders. Patrick Mahomes is still trying to force the issue, I think, or was trying to force the issue a bit.
I mean, Hill scored 3 touchdowns last week, so I think the Mahomes Hill connection is back.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't got around to seeing that game yet. Work's gone away, hence there's no caption competition again, so I apologise for that. But from what I've read and what I've seen, the 2-minute highlights that you show on the NFL app, or 4 minutes, they do look like they're getting their groove back. There's still a bit of slight timing issues. I still worry about that O-line. I still think you can get at that O-line. I'm going to give them I'm going to be really harsh on these. I'm going to go C+.
I was thinking giving them a C because they had such high expectations at the start. But I can see them from now. They're 6-4 at the moment, winning 12.
Yeah, they could do.
Yes.
They have got left Dallas this weekend, Denver, Las Vegas, then LA Chargers, Steelers, Bengals, Denver.
I mean, the Dallas game is going to be a great game.
Oh, it's on Sky, isn't it?
It's on Sky, yes.
Yeah. It is going to be a good game.
Yes. Speaking of Dallas, shall we move on to their division?
Shall we give the star players of that division?
Oh, yes.
Um,
So I'm going to give it to... This is a tough one, actually.
It is, isn't it? You know what? I'm going to go for Devontae Williams, the running back out Denver. Javonte Williams, the running back out Denver.
I'm going to give it to Derwin James.
Interesting.
So onto the NFC now.
On to the NFC. Do you want to take
We'll,
the lead on this one, Mr.
yeah,
Hope?
we'll start with the East, and
Yep.
at the bottom of them are the Giants with a 3-6 record, scored 179 and conceded 216.
Yeah. They've been hit badly with injuries.
They're,
Barkley,
they're missing Saquon.
missing Saquon. Their wide receivers haven't been. Dan Jones he was firing all season at the start, wasn't he?
Yes. And Jack Yarney's just asking if we've crowned Dak as MVP yet. We'll get to our
We'll get
MVP.
to that in a bit, Jack. Yeah, New York. They have the components there now.
I like Joe Judge as a coach. I think he's a good coach.
Yep.
And yes, they have the components there. And if they can stay healthy and get them all on the field at the same time, I think they could do well. But to be honest, this season, I don't think it's a season for them. I'm going to give them a C minus, and I think they're going to finish 6-12.
I concur. I completely concur with that. If they can get everyone all back and fine before the end of the season, they might grab a couple of extra games than that. But yeah, I concur completely with that. On to Washington.
On to the football team.
Who would have thought?
They're 3-6.
Who would have
They've
thought
scored 185, conceded 246, and
that?
had
Beat
a
the reigning
very
Super Bowls.
impressive performance against the Buccaneers last week.
Very impressive.
And they have they've only played one game, but they do have a 100% record in their division.
Hey. So did Dallas, who's had 2 games, but we'll get to that in a bit. They're getting that groove. Who would have thought after Fitzpatrick went down in week 2 that Taylor Heineke would have 3 wins on his belt?
I mean, Heineke's looking good in my opinion.
Heineke could be. He's going to be in Washington. We said on Monday night he's going to be in Washington for a few years. He's probably not a franchise quarterback. He probably is a bridge quarterback, but he's doing them a bloody good job.
Yes.
For that, I'm going to give them. I'm going to go C+ for them because I think they're outperforming themselves.
I mean, they are still 3-6, but I'll give them a C. And I also think maybe they'll scrape to 7-11.
I'm going to go. Probably 7-11, maybe 8.
Is it 7-11 or is it 7-10? It'll be 7-10.
7-10. So is it 8 or 9?
Yeah.
Depends how they come back from Chase Young being out.
Yes.
On
to
the Birds.
The Eagles.
On to them flying birds.
4-6.
Didn't think that.
They've scored 257 and conceded 231.
Yeah, who would have thought that at the start of the season?
I mean, Devontae Smith is starting to get more involved, which is good.
He's not impressed me compared to a couple of the rookies that are out there. The
Jamar Chase of the world.
Jamar Chase, Najee Harris, Mac Jones, and a couple other out there as well who have been a better rookie than him this season.
Yes.
So I think he's got that weight of his shoulders on the Heisman Trophy winner here.
Yes.
I'm a wide receiver. I've won the Heisman Trophy. That doesn't happen very often. It normally goes to QBs. But saying that, they looked really good. Darius Slay is a very good corner.
Yes, Slay is a very good corner.
Was he a corner or is he a safety?
I think he's one of those hybrids.
He's a DB. I just call them DBs. Defensive back. They are, like I said, they scored 230, or they conceded 231 points on defense. It's not shouting from the rooftops, but what they scored, they did very well against Denver.
And they
did very well against LA Chargers as well the week before.
Just quite interestingly, they've not won at home yet this season, yet they're 4-2 on the road.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? It's almost as good. It's almost as bad as record as New England.
I mean, the Niners won their first home game in 393 days the other day, so
that says something, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, we
Jack.
did play in Arizona for half that, but
Yeah, but at least it's not. What is it? 600 days or 700 days like in winning in your own country, like Jacksonville.
yes.
um,
So I'm going to give they're doing better than I thought.
I think they'll get to 10 or possibility of 10.
I don't think they'll get quite that high.
They've got to learn to win at home.
Yes, I think they're going to get to 7. Honestly, and I'm going to give them a C.
Yeah, I'm going to go C plus. I think they're a little bit better than that.
And on to one of the best teams in the NFL at the moment, the Dallas Cowboys. They are 7-2. They have scored 284 points. They have conceded 195 points, and they look good.
Apart from when they got blown out a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. Apart from that, they
Apart
look
from
good.
that, even when they didn't have Dak and the rounds, they still looked really good with Cooper Rush on the hands.
Zeke is looking sharp. CD Lamb's having a bit of a breakout season.
Yeah,
Trayvon Diggs has got magnets in his hands at the moment.
Trayvon Diggs. I think it's between Diggs, Garrett,
We'll get to we'll get to
JC
we'll get
Jackson. Yeah, we'll
we'll
get to
get to it.
defensive DVP in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is brilliant in there as well. He is
Yes,
a superstar in the making.
he is a stud.
Quick, explosive, strong, does not give up on the play. I've seen him
No,
a couple of times. He's literally all over the place. He's not a side to side. He is up and down wide
yeah.
linebacker.
Parsons looks like a great pick at 10.
Great pick. Their record is 7-2.
7-2.
I think they can go to 12, possibly 13.
I was going to say 13, and I was going to give them an A, maybe even an A star.
I was going to give them a star because they have played one less game than Tannehill's Tennessee.
Yes.
Yeah, it's close between them and the NFC North leaders, who Tom's favourite team.
Right, Ollie. Can we even give Detroit a grade, or shall we give them a U?
Do you want to give NFC's star player of the season?
Oh
so
yeah. Well, let me think.
I'm going to give it to Heineke.
I was about to give it to Heineke. For some diversity, I'll give it to Zeke.
I'm going to say Heineke because I wasn't sold him at the start of the season. He's coming from XFL. He's coming as a QB2. Everyone expected Fitzmagic to be the show and run the show. I don't think when Fitzmagic's fit after their bye, he's getting his starting slot back.
You shouldn't.
I think possibly this could be the end of Fitzmagic's career as well.
I mean, he's had a great career. I'll give it to Zeke. He didn't have a great season last season without Dak, and he's back.
There's so many people you can give it to that Dallas team. Diggs, Parsons.
So, onto the Lions.
I think the Lions are ungradable.
8-1. Points for 150, points against 260. I don't think it's even worth talking about them.
Are they going to get a win?
No. I say we give them a U and we move on.
I'm going to say they're going to get one win. And I reckon it's going to come against one of the divisional rivals near the end of the season, when the season's over and those divisional rivals have got nothing to play for, and it's just going to be a dogfight. And I think that's where their only wins are going to come from.
Okay, so
and just to wind Tom up, because he's not here and because I can, it's going to be against Minnesota.
Okay. Like I said, I don't think it's even worth talking about them. Moving on to Chicago Bears, 3-6, 150 points for, 224 points against. They're missing Mac.
They are missing Mac. It's still Fields. No, it wasn't Fields. I keep getting him and Hurts mixed up against Tampa. I think Dalton would be slightly better fit for their offense at the moment.
I think playing Fields is the right decision, though, for development.
definitely.
I mean,
Sometimes yes,
I mean
sometimes no. Yes, you
that
lose.
one,
You learn a
that one,
lot from losing.
that one against the Niners,
We've shown that several times.
where he ran past about every defensive
I
player
think it was
twice.
8, wasn't it? I think we counted
Yes,
8 on air.
yes.
Yeah, that showed what he could do. It showed what he could do at Ohio. Um,
He shows flashes, Fields.
yeah, he's still got a lot to learn.
Yes,
You could see he's got Lamar Chase about him. Lamar Jackson, sorry about him.
yes.
This is
But
where Tom needs to be here because we can slate the Vikings in a
but
minute.
I'm going to give the Bears a D plus.
I'm going to go C minus because I think they're a little bit better than that.
I think they might be able to sneak to 6 wins this season.
I agree with that one. Can't see him getting many more than 6.
Onto the
Minnesota.
Vikings. A 4-5 record.
When
Points
you've
for
got probably the
250.
best 1-2-3 punch in the league
Yeah.
with Cook, Thielen, and Jefferson, and you've got a competent QB at the helm.
Yes, they've scored
You've got
221 points and conceded 211
they've gone to overtime 3 times this year
and lost twice.
and lost twice. We know what Tom feels. Tom thinks that Zimmer should be out. We've all agreed that as well. You need for the offense, for the players they've got in that offense, they need a maybe college style offense in that,
Yes.
where there is a lot of RPOs, there is a lot of trick plays open up the field.
I mean, Kirk's looking good this season.
Kurtz has been really good again. Sorry, not Kurtz. He has been good this season. He does look back to his old self again.
Yeah, Kirk. I mean, I'm just going to put this up for this.
Zimmer out. Yep, we know that one. Just to please Tom.
I mean,
we know Tom. Tom quite often spikes him off.
I think I know a bit more after I go and watch him next week.
Yeah, you will have more of an insight to it than Tom will.
And hopefully I'll watch the Niners win. But we'll see.
How many times are you going to see Kirk on his back?
Hopefully 4 or
5. Yeah, so what do you reckon they get? Do you reckon 8 or 9?
I think they could sneak into the playoff with 9, maybe even 10.
I mean, they're one behind Panthers and Saints.
And I'll give them a C.
Yeah, I could probably go for a C.
And on to the number 1 seed in the NFC at the moment, the Green Bay Packers with an 8-2 record, scored 216 points against conceded 180 and looked very good against the Seahawks last week.
What impressed me against the Seahawks was that defense.
Yeah, that defense
without
Smith and without Alexander.
Yeah. It was, if you don't enjoy defensive football, don't watch that game.
No.
Being played DB myself, I absolutely love that game.
What was it? 3-0 at halftime?
3-0 at halftime, and I think it wasn't until midway through the half, the third quarter, they actually scored points. There was 14 points in the last quarter, I think it was. Green Bay.
They look good.
They are looking good. It is scarily how good now they've got a defense that is performing. They've got an offense ticking. Aaron Rodgers, I hate to say this, does look good.
No.
Are we going to give them an A star? We've given Dallas and Kansas A stars. I think we have to.
I think we have to.
Another 12 or 13 wins this season?
Yeah, 12 or 13.
On to the South.
And we're going to start with the Falcons, who have a 4-5 record. They're playing tonight.
Oh, we forgot to do something.
Oh, yeah, star players.
I'm going to let you go first because I know who I want to give it to, but
I'm going to give it to Justin Jefferson. He's looked good again this season. Not quite last year's standards, but he's looked good.
Week 1 aside, COVID aside, A-Rod.
Rodgers.
Yeah, he has. He hate to say this, he has looked good,
Yeah.
which is horrible. But when you've got the likes of Rodgers and Tom
When you have,
Brady still doing it,
yeah.
it's scary for these young guys, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
So on to the Falcons, who of course are playing the Patriots tonight. They're 4-5.
I'm looking
They've
forward to that one.
scored 178 points and they've conceded 263. Of course, we've seen them in London. Pitts looked very good, but apart from that, they didn't seem to have much. And
Cordell Patterson, who's not
yeah,
there
yeah,
tonight actually,
who is injured for tonight.
which is huge. Cordell Patterson is a good Swiss Army knife of a player.
Especially
Does
this
everything,
season.
especially this player, and he's thrived in this offense, which
Yes.
is I'm shocked. And obviously they've lost Calvin Ridley for the season. Well, we would presume for the season. Don't think we'll see Calvin Ridley back.
Well,
Possibly even next season.
I'd love to see him back, but yes, that doesn't look likely.
Yeah, I'm going to give them, after seeing them in London, C minus, I think.
I was thinking C minus 2, and I think they may scrape to 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah. Cam's back in Carolina.
Onto the Panthers.
Yeah, Cam's back.
5-5, scored 205 points against 193. I'm really disappointed in Darnold, but yes, Cam is back.
Darnold's probably not going to get his starting spot back this season.
I don't think he will. I'm actually starting Cam in the Pod Fantasy League this week.
Oh, you picked him up? Is that who
Yeah.
he went to? Damn. I tried to drop him for Baker.
I actually picked up Cam and Jimmy this week because both of my quarterbacks were on bye.
Oh man.
But I know I might keep Cam or I might go back to Stafford. I'm not sure.
The way they blew away Arizona without fully firing C-Mac yet.
Yeah, but Chuba Hubbard has looked very good.
Chuba has looked very good. C-Mac, once they've got C-Mac back and they've got that connection back with him and Cam again, Carolina could go for a run. They're only a game back from, actually no, they're a game and a half back from Tampa.
Yes. But I think they may jump the Saints and finish on 9 wins with a wildcard spot, and I'm going to give them a solid B.
I'm going to go with a B as well, but I think they're going to get 10.
Fair enough.
On to New Orleans, who I think are going to fall away.
Yeah,
quicker than a horse jaws.
I mean, they're going to struggle without Jameis Winston. Of course, at the moment they're 5-4, having scored 222 points and conceded 178. But
how long's Kamara going to be out for as well?
Well, Kamara's meant to be back this week.
Yeah,
he's questionable.
Do you want to rush him back? That's the problem. And risk it like they did with C-Mac, rushed him and put him out for another few weeks, and there's your season done completely then.
But, I mean, I'm worried with any offense that is led by Travis Simeon.
He did all right against Tampa.
He did okay, but
I mean, teams are now going to be able to deal for him, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, but they've still got Tyson Hill's back.
Yeah, Taysom Hill is back. Whether he's going to start or not, though.
I think they'll use him as they always have used him.
Yes.
As I've said already, a Swiss Army knife of a player. I'm going to give them a lower rating than Carolina. I'm going to give them a C minus.
I'm going to give him a C.
I think they might get to 8 or 9. And
Yeah,
they've got a really tricky run in.
I think 8.
So they've got Tennessee. No, they had Tennessee, sorry. They've got Philadelphia, Buffalo, Dallas, Tampa to play, Carolina to play, Atlanta to play as well. They could finish bottom of that division.
Yes.
On
to Tampa.
On to the reigning Super Bowl champions, who haven't fired on all cylinders yet, have they?
They're 6-3. They've scored 279 points. They conceded 212, and they lost last week to actually a very impressive Washington.
To a very impressive Washington. That really annoyed Tom Brady because he was in his press conference for less than a minute. Well, 59 seconds, I think it was. Everyone's rounded up to a minute because that's what us blokes do. We round everything up. Crying out, that's 6 inches. Yeah, Tampa, they have all the components. Everyone came back. As Bruce said, you're coming back, you're coming back, you're coming back. But as Bruce said, they played stupid football.
Yeah, dumb football is
Dumb
what he
football,
said.
that was the word, was it?
He was saying they played well Monday to Friday, but it got to Sunday and they played dumb football.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do on the field, on the practice field, it's what you do on the court that counts.
I mean, I could link this back to yesterday, but I don't really want to talk about that.
What was yesterday?
The football yesterday. I know you were watching. BBC Two.
Oh, Bolton. Yeah,
Just
good
talking
job.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like,
I'm quite glad Tom's not here today.
For who doesn't know, Tom's a Stockport County fan and Ollie's a Bolton fan. That's Ollie Hope, not OBH. Tampa, obviously Tom Brady's had his 600 TD and then had his ball gave away and actually had to give the world away to get it back.
Yes.
But
But
I'm going to give them a B plus. I think
I'm going to give it a B plus, but I think they'll get to 11 wins.
they'll get into playoffs. I don't think they're going to get touched by the other three teams in that conference now.
No, I think that conference is pretty safe.
I'm not going to say pretty safe. I still think it's, there or thereabouts. But yeah, 11 wins should be secure enough.
And in terms of, I'm going to give it to Chuba Hubbard.
I'm going to give it to Pitts. I think.
Yeah.
Onto the NFC West, your conference, your division.
Starting with the Seahawks, 3-6, 181 points for, 186 points against. And did they rush Russ back last week? I think they did. Mm-hmm. Carson's made of glass, but we always say that the Minnesota Vikings have the best 1-2 punch in the league. The Seahawks have a pretty good 1-2 in
Lockett and Metcalf.
Yeah,
they're only a pretty good 1-2 when they've got Russell Wilson. They didn't look the same with Geno.
Jamal Adams has lost
a yard apace.
Everything.
Yep.
Russ was rushed back and isn't exactly cooking.
That's noticeable. He was out for 4 weeks on IR, which is noticeable. He had the pins removed from his finger. I think it was Wednesday. I think they said he's only reactivated on Friday morning, Seattle time. So it was like Saturday night or Friday night here.
Yes.
They had the makings to go on unbeaten for the rest of the season, but they also got the makings to not win again this season.
Yes.
The defense isn't the Legend of Doom that they had. You would have thought they would have kept that kind of thing going on. Right? Okay, we've lost Sherman. Right, let's bring
lost Bam Bam Cam, lost Richard Sherman, but they still have Bobby Wagner, who's playing well.
He is playing well. Should have brought it, but they should have drafted those kind of replacement. Right, Sherman's going. Let's bring in a Sherman style replacement.
Yes.
Cam's going. Let's bring in a Cam style Newton. Etc. like that. They haven't. They've lost Shaq Griffin this year as well, who was probably the closest that they had.
I'm very disappointed by the Seahawks. I'm going to give them
as well.
a D minus, and they're going to finish 7-9.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to get 5 more. I reckon they might get to 8. It's a shame because I'm a massive Russ Wilson fan. I really do like the bloke. He's always spoken highly of this country. He's exciting to watch how he extends the play. Runs around like a headless chicken sometimes, which is great to watch.
Right, on to the only NFC West team that won this weekend.
Which was a shock, don't we think?
Oh, God, we played so well on Monday.
Yes, you did.
I know, we've not actually been on a podcast since this.
Oh God! Please mute your ears now, people. Ollie's now going to go on a
I
tangent.
mean, Jimmy Ward, 2 picks in the first quarter, doubling our interception for the year. We now have 4, including a
Wasn't they both thrown to Odell?
no. The second one bounced off Tyler Higbee's hands into Jimmy
Oh yeah, of
Ward's
course it did.
hands, which then went back for a pick 6. But yes, the first one was thrown to Odell. Odell wasn't great. Von Miller was ineffective.
That's
Matt
not
Stafford,
surprising they didn't have enough time.
yeah,
This
Matt,
bye has
yeah,
come for the right time with them now.
Matt Stafford didn't look great. He Cooper Cup, Tyler Higbee, they were dropping balls. The Rams just looked all out of sorts. But on to the Niners, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah, we'll talk about the LA Rams in a couple of minutes. Okay.
Jimmy looked good. Elijah Mitchell is a great pick in the 6th round.
Jimmy has looked good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Jimmy seems to have sorted himself out. Elijah Mitchell picking the 6th round.
Yeah,
Debo.
Debo is being on form.
Oh, Debo.
We've probably got 2 of the best wide receivers in the division at the moment, in the conference at the moment, or probably in the NFL at the moment.
Yeah.
In your division.
Debo is having a career season. Ayuk is coming back into it more. Kittle's back and actually scored 2 touchdowns because he went over a year without scoring a touchdown. We finally won at home.
Mm-hmm.
We're 1-4 at home. We've scored 216 points against 212. Hopefully, we'll keep on this upward trajectory. And I can see us getting to 9 wins a season. But at the moment, I'm going to give us a C.
So your season's going to end with you got Jacksonville, Minnesota.
I can tell you our schedule.
It saves me looking around again, neck ache again.
Jacksonville, Minnesota, Seattle. Who have we got for week 14?
Bengals.
Atlanta, Tennessee, Houston, LA. So there's only 3 teams there that are currently over 500, and one of those is the Bengals.
You know what? I can see you winning. I think you'll lose against Tennessee. I think you'll lose against LA.
Yeah. Well, actually, remember we have won the last 5 meetings against LA.
I just think LA are going to have a lot on the line, and it's going to be down who's going to win. Who's going to take the division?
You don't think the Cardinals?
I was going to say you don't
think the Cardinals.
Like
I said, I think the Niners, Cardinals, and the Rams could all go.
If LA are already in the playoffs, and Arizona have gone, they're guaranteed to win the division. LA are rest players for the wild card. I'll tell you what, we'll put these 2 together. So LA are 7-3. They've scored 271. The 277 conceded. They have an unlimited cap space, and they have no draft picks for next season.
Yes. I mean, Cup is again another performing career season.
Have been outstanding.
Outstanding, yes. There's no other way.
Jalen Ramsey's having a good season
yes,
in DB.
But I think losing Robert Woods is a big thing, even with Odell.
Yeah, because it's going to take 2 or 3. I mean, they've got their bye this week.
They needed their bye this week,
which is good for Von Miller and Odell Beckham.
I think they said on the broadcast before the game, Stafford had thrown 2 passes to Odell ever.
Yeah, which isn't good. I mean, there's been loads of memes going around with Odell Beckham's dad being on the phone and all that.
I saw one that said OBJ, maybe OBI shouldn't have played.
Yes, I don't think he should have. I think they should have gone, right, okay, you've only had, or they could have suited them up going, right, you are going to play these plays. There's going to be 2 calls that you need to go. You're either going to go deep or you're going to run a crossing route. The ones that are safe, easy ones to go to.
Yeah, the thing was, they were having to huddle up a lot more than they wanted to because they were having to tell Odell what he had to do.
That one, prime example, Stafford, the first pick.
Yes. Odell stopped. Stafford
because
expect him to stop. and
Yeah.
it went straight into Jimmy Ward's hands.
It's why you don't know that you haven't got that Odell. You haven't got that match. Yes, you see players on tape when
Yes,
you're the opposing team, but you don't. Playing with them is completely different.
but I mean,
There's
just like,
a
I want
there
to
was
go
a
back to
TikTok.
that.
There was a TikTok by Jordan
Yeah,
Palmer, and he said right because he was QB2, and he didn't get many reps. If he coming injured and he's throwing to like I can't remember who it was, but just for example, like say Randy Ross, Randall Moss, and people like that, those kind of players, they might run a slightly different route, same route, but run it slightly differently, different speed and all that. And you don't know that
yes,
because you don't play them week in and week out. You don't throw them to them 50 times a day.
yes.
So you're not going to know these players.
And I mean, I just want to go back to one play in that game, and that's the 4th and 5. But
I
first
didn't.
off, first off, I want to know who called that fake field goal for Rams, because I think it was a very, very dumb
Oh,
play.
that's Sean McVay. That's a Sean McVay play all day long.
Because
He's done that how many times since he's been in LA?
yeah, if they
That's
kick
their
the
thing, isn't it?
if they kick the points, they're going in. It's only a two. I mean, they're still down by 11, but it's very different to being down by 14.
So, how are you going to mark your team?
Uh, I've already said I think I'm going to C, and
You're going to give him a C.
yeah.
I'll
But
concur with that one.
I'd also like to just talk about the 4th and 5 play that ended up for a touchdown. Ballsy played by Shanahan. Debo's Debo. And
um,
yeah,
LA
and
Rams.
the Rams, they're 7-3 at the moment. I think they'll get to probably 11 or 12 wins if
Yeah,
they sort out their stuff. I'm going to give them a B at the moment.
I'm going to give them A minus. Um, we can't give them quite a good as grade as the other ones. We can't give them a good a grade as Arizona, who I'm going to say now are 8-2. I'm going to give
Yes.
Arizona an A star because
287 points scored, 189 points conceded. Yes, I'm also going to give them an A star. Kyler's in the MVP conversation. Hopefully he's back after their bye, which I believe is also.
okay, yeah, I think Carolina was a bit blip.
Yes.
Um,
I
quite
believe
like I
I
said,
believe they're also on bye this week.
they are on no, they're on bye next week. They got Seattle this week.
Okay.
So they're on bye next week. So divisional matchup against Seattle, that's gonna be tough.
Well, that'll be an interesting game.
Definitely.
But yes,
Um,
I think Carolina A plus. They've looked very good, and that is
Carolina,
the
Arizona.
Arizona. So now on who is your mid-season MVP?
Mid-season MVP. There is lots of people in the
I
conversation for
will show
this.
you mine. Dak for me,
You're giving it to Dak.
and that hurts me because I hate the Cowboys.
I would give Dak comeback of the player this season because he's been outstanding.
I'm gonna even come back too.
Um, I'm not going to like this. No, I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to do Kyler.
Kind fair enough.
I think Kyler's going to get MVP.
OPOY
Offensive Player of the Year.
Cup for me.
Yeah, it's got to be Cooper, isn't it? It's got to be Cooper Cup of the Year. Or the
DPOY.
just want to do that one.
Oh, John Lewis agrees with you for Kyler.
Yeah.
You're gonna give fucking DPOY to Diggs, aren't you?
You can either give it to Myles Garrett, Trayvon Diggs, J.C. Jackson, or Matt Judon.
I'm giving it
all
to.
of those, they're all having career seasons.
I'm giving it to Garrett.
I'm going to give it to a DB, and I'm going to head to New England. I'm going to give it to J.C. Jackson.
Okay.
Watching him week in and week out, he's always been against wide receiver one, always been against the best one, and he's had 6 picks this season.
I mean, Juden and JC Jackson look very good, but I think I have to give it to the cycle leader Garrett. It always goes to a D lineman, and I did
give Garrett. I was going to give Garrett my Super Bowl MVP, wasn't I?
Yes.
Garrett, I'm high on Garrett. I really am. I think he's a brilliant. I mean, we had to double team him Although saying that, Khalil Harry owned him on Sunday night.
Garrett is a
So
bit like Bosa in that he gets held every play, and the
there was a
refs don't
play.
see it.
There was a play
There was a play
against.
on Monday night where the guy had Bosa in a chokehold headlock, and the
There's
ref
plays
missed
like
it.
that all through the season. JJ Watts had it. Arnold Donald's had it. Donald's had it. Juden's had it.
Children of it, yeah. The refs
Both
need to.
both Bosas have had it as well. Not
I
just
get,
yours.
yeah. The
Bobby
refs need to
Wagner's
come
had
down
it.
on it.
Frank
The
Warner's
whole,
had it. The holding play is ridiculous, and I still go back to the officiating this season isn't as good as it has been for a long time. I think.
yeah.
Um,
So, offensive rookie of the year,
there's only one. There's only one to give it to this year. I think.
Chase.
Nope. Can't
Oh,
see.
what?
Mac Jones. I ain't going to give it to Mac. I
Yeah,
put Mac at the start of the season. I put a tenner on Mac to win MVP, rookie MVP, or rookie offensive player of the year. Right at the very beginning, after he got drafted when he was at 16-1. People saying he's gone into possibly the worst situation, possibly the best situation.
yeah,
He has looked better and better and better. He is top 5 quarterback at the moment on stats. He was the highest ranked quarterback passer rating this weekend. Starters, because Hoyer got 156. Perfect passer rating, which makes me laugh. I'm gonna go for Mac.
Okay, defensive rookie of the year, Micah Parsons.
You've gone for
You
Jamar
can,
Chase for offense, haven't you?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna completely agree with defensive. I don't think
I mean,
anyone's gonna come close
we've
to him.
already. And for rookie of the year, you're going to love this. I'm going to
Go
give
on.
rookie of the year to Mac Jones.
Yeah, it's gonna be between him and Jamar Chase.
It will go to a QB because, I mean, we've all talked about our disdain for Jefferson not getting it last year.
I would love to see Jefferson win Offensive Player of the Year this year, purely because of the fact he can stick two fingers up to the league going, you should have given it me last year. But yeah, I can agree on that one.
Okay, so comeback player of the year. Surely it's Dak.
There's no one else in the frame, is that?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, he's missed the game through injury. Yes, he looked crap the game after his injury, but I don't think he's fully fit. Yeah, there's no one else who can come close to him. He's been superb. He's been lights out all season.
Now, this is an interesting one. Coach of the year. I think Cliff Kingsbury.
Of Arizona.
Yes. I feel like he's done a lot with the team. He did well to get JJ Watts, and they look good.
Frable, Tennessee.
Vrabel.
Mm-hmm. I reckon it's between him and LaFleur, whatever how you pronounce his name, Green Bay.
Okay. And what is your Super Bowl for this season, and who is the winner, and who is the MVP?
I think NFC is going to be between Arizona and Dallas.
Okay. Who's going to win?
Dallas.
And
I think their defense is better.
The AFC?
Tennessee will win. I hope I'm wrong, and I think it's against New England.
Really? So you guys put your Super Bowl in here. I'm going to stick with what I said at the start of the season. Oh, by the way, who's your Super Bowl MVP?
I'm going to give it to Dallas.
And your MVP is?
I'm going to say Zeke.
Okay, well, I'm going to stick with exactly what I said at the start of the season.
Buffalo
to be Green Bay, Josh Allen, Super Bowl MVP.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've changed mine. I completely changed mine. Hands up, because Cleveland have been dog crap. They've not cleaned up their dog pound, so it's an absolute mess. No puns intended.
We need to move on to
Player of the Week first.
Player of the Week. For me, it's Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, he was lights out. I'm going very sentimental here, and I'm going very patriotism. No puns intended, but I'm going for Jacoby Myers.
Finally got it on TV.
First touchdown in 3 years after 191 targets, over 1,500 yards. He deserves it, to be fair.
So we all did pretty badly in the predictions, didn't we? Actually, let's move.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do my banker first.
Go on then.
So I predicted the Chargers to win. Yeah, put my banker as the Vikings. Puts me on 9-1. One more, and I don't have to do the challenge. You gave me a team with a losing record, and I'm going to jump on the Niners to take me to the 10 wins to get rid of the forfeits.
Hey, as you would do. Yeah, as you said, there was one. We only got one right, and that was you, which was Green Bay against Seattle. We all went
Yes.
Denver, lost. We all went LA Chargers, lost.
I believe that puts me in the lead, does it not?
You are now on 18 points. Tom's on 17. I'm on 15.
Oh yes, and how did John do?
Yeah, John got all. John also got one right.
Which one did he? Did he
Green
get
Bay.
the Eagles?
He got Green Bay.
He's saying he had a feeling about the Eagles.
No, you definitely went. It's my daughter's team. Your daughter's got an okay sense of. It's a bit like my son with Kansas. Why haven't you got her to pick the same team as you?
Okay, so on to this week's predictions, and John, please get involved again.
And you, Jack, or anyone who wants to get involved, put your predictions in the comments, and you'll be flashed up on the screen, and we'll write them down. First game is Washington against Carolina.
Carolina.
It's a tricky one, this one.
No, I fancy Washington will still be on a high. I fancy Carolina.
Exactly, and Carolina have got purple as their favourite colour.
Yeah.
Fair enough point.
Fair enough.
I want to be different because I think Washington are going to be riding the crest of the wave, and I think Cam's going to be too much of a distraction, so I'm going to go for Washington. You're doing for Panthers, aren't you?
Like I said, anyone who wants to get involved, put your predictions in the chat.
Probably game of the week. Dallas against Kansas.
KC are back. I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going completely opposite because I think that offense is too explosive for Kansas defense, and I think the defense in Dallas is too good.
Jack is saying Panthers for the first one.
Cam will be too much for that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And I'm going for Dallas. Philly against the Saints.
This one's tough.
This one is all three games are tough so far, I think. They are tough week.
You know what? I just like them off, but I'm going to go for New Orleans. I feel like at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, it would just be too much. And John Lewis is coming with Panthers, KC, and Saints, which is exactly the same as me.
I'm writing all this down as we go, so I don't forget. Yeah, I think despite not having Winston, Kamara not being fully fit, yeah, I'm going to have to agree with this, and I think I'm going to have to go with New Orleans as well.
And Jack's gone for Dallas and the Eagles. So this is John's pick. Panthers, KC, Saints. And Jack has gone Panthers, Dallas, Eagles. The only one of the four people predicting that has gone for the Eagles because Tom has not sent us off his picks yet.
So, John and Jack, do you think I get my 7-year-old son to pick the three teams for Tom, or do we let Tom put them in?
I say we get Finn in.
Finn? Come here a minute. Hang on then. I'm going to take out the earphones, so it might sound a bit funny. Come here. Right. Say hello.
Hello.
I'm going to put you so you can see a bit. Come a bit closer. There you go. Right. You got 3 games to pick. Okay?
Okay.
So, who do you think is going to win out of Carolina Panthers or Washington?
Panthers.
You're going for Carolina. Finn's going for Carolina. Cowboys against the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
You think the Chiefs? Okay. And Eagles against the Saints.
Saints.
Saints. Thank you. High five. Good lad.
John's
So
got exactly the same as me and John.
he has, yeah. He's Noah, my eldest, is a Chiefs fan. So Tom, there's your picks. Can't change them now. Too late. Too
They're
late.
locked in.
You're locked in. I'm gonna put my earphones back in very quickly.
So I guess the last thing is to talk about tonight's game. As John just said, Finn knows his stuff.
He definitely does. Not bad for a 7-year-old. It would have been interesting to see what my eldest would have said next. But he's not here. He's away. He's away on a school trip. Anyway,
Happy belated birthday to Noah.
yes, it was his 10th birthday yesterday. He's got a very nice Kansas City Chiefs hoodie wrapped up down there. Yes. Can we see anything else than a New England win?
New England by 2 scores for me.
I'm going to say 3. I can't see, because they have their running back in Atlanta, or their running game isn't strong. They've lost Patterson tonight.
Yeah.
It's going to rely a lot on the wide receivers and Carl Pitts, and they haven't got that deep threat now of Calvin Ridley either.
Yes, I mean we predicted a big win for Baltimore last week, didn't we?
Yeah, that went epically wrong. I hope it's not the same this week. I really do.
I'm going to say not Panthers, Patriots by 14.
Yeah, I'll go Patriots by. Yeah, I'll go Patriots by 3. 3 scores.
3 scores, not 3.
Not 3 points. Although, yeah.
Who knows?
He knows.
Jack saying Pats by 7 at least. We're both trying to show it.
Both trying to show the comments at the same time. Yeah, it will be. It could be a slugfest. I mean,
Jack says one for the morning highlights. I think I'm gonna stay up and watch it.
I'm gonna try and stay up and watch it. The plan is to stay up and watch it, or I could do what I did against Tampa: go to sleep, wake up halfway through the first quarter, and then watch the rest of the game like I did against Tampa, which I quite enjoyed watching that game. To be fair, that was a hell of a game. I believe, Mr. Hope, that is all for tonight.
Yes, I mean, I've really enjoyed this one. We've been meaning to do this for about like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it was discussed a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, things happen. All being well, and I have acquired a couple of caption. Will be back probably after Thanksgiving weekend because my diary gets a bit quieter then.
We will put on our socials when our Thanksgiving special is going to be, because at the moment it's a bit undecided between Tuesday and Wednesday.
John's asked this question: who's the most competitive division?
I'm still going to go NFC West.
I'm just reminding myself of each division, but I just typed my password wrong on my laptop. I'll shut my laptop down, Tom.
For me, it's the NFC West or the NFC South.
Yeah, I agree with them. I was just trying to get the records up. I think it's more West than South, personally.
Yeah. Well,
what about you, John? Who do you think? What do you think, Jack, as well? Who do you think the most competitive division is?
So yes, I believe we're not going to be doing a Monday show, but we will.
It's either going to be we're going to either do it Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll be a one-off week because Mr. Hope over there is off to sunny California.
I mean, I'm going to San Francisco. It's not going to be sunny there. So Jack said the AFC
West,
which I do see with KC, Denver, Raiders,
Kansas, and Chargers.
Yeah. But yes, I'm off to California next week, and John has said both Wests. There's Jack's AFC West.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get that. There will be runaway winners in both. I think after week 12, we will have an idea, or even week 13, we'll have an idea who the division winners are. So
just back to next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, probably I'm leaning towards Tuesday. I think Ollie is also leaning towards Tuesday. Once I'm in San Francisco, I will be putting videos on our socials. So Our Facebook and Twitter is currently going along the bottom here.
Just about there. Why am I pointing with a pen? I'm pointing at the screen with a pen. Yeah, just along here.
As Jack said, he was supposed to go for the Cowboys Chargers, but couldn't this year. Jack, are you a Chargers fan by any chance? But yes, I'm going for the 49ers versus Vikings with a friend of mine who is also a Vikings fan, just like Tom Shaw.
I'm planning to be in Boston next year for Patriots for my 40th. Yes, I'm the old man of the group.
And we're still going to we're still going to
Las Vegas for the
Vegas for the draft, right?
We will be doing a draft night of some description. LA family, fair enough. There you go.
Cowboys. Oh, okay.
There is Cowboy fans over here. We like to see that. Ladies and gentlemen,
That is all for tonight.
It's been a pleasure, Mr. Hope. Thank you for your input, Jack, John. As always, thank you for your input, guys. You've been superb. We will speak to you next week. Enjoyed this week's football. Enjoy tonight's game. If you are staying up, I will try to. It just leaves me to say, stay safe all.